Hi everybody, it's CraftyRia, and I'm back today to share with you this cute little reindeer matchbook that I made for a swap that I'm in. I also made a recycled Christmas card to go with it. I want to share with you what's in this little matchbook, and also I'm going to show you how to make one yourself. This card is just a recycled Christmas card as usual. I just cut the front off, and I used some stickles, which is glitter glue, and I just embellished the entire front. I put some glitter on the trees, and I made all of the ornaments glittery, and I just cut out the sentiment, matted it, and put it on the inside of the card. So I thought the theme was reindeer, and I thought this would be a great card to send with it. The reindeer itself was too big to fit inside of the matchbook, so I went ahead and made a separate card for that. So let me show you what I have in the matchbook. This front of the matchbook is from a card, a Reindeer Rummy card game card that I had gotten in another swap. So I just cut that top part off. I rounded the top corners, and I used this We Are Memory Keepers corner rounder, and I think I used the medium size that matched the top, and I rounded them so it looks like it's a finished image. There's just some ribbon here from my stash and one of those blue gem snowflakes that I got at the Dollar Tree. And it opens just like a matchbook. I used some reindeer paper that I had in my stash, and then I filled it with some goodies. These two little tags were from a Heidi swap tag kit. They have really cool patterns on the back, and I went through my stuff and I just picked out all the reindeer stuff that I could find. So I have those two little tags to be included inside. I have this other tag that I made out of a Christmas card. I just cut out the image out of the front, and on the back I used a scrap piece from the front of the card, and I stamped "To From" on it so it could be used as a gift tag. Underneath here there was some writing on the back of the card, so I wanted to cover it up. So they have that cute little gift tag. I had a piece of white paper in my stash, if I can get the other piece out, that has reindeer on it. So I just cut out those pieces of paper and put them inside. This was the front of a card. I just cut it out, the reindeer, and matted it on a piece of gold cardstock to match. And it's just a decorative square. And then I had this card that had 9 reindeer on it on the front. It kind of looked like this, and I cut it apart into those pieces. I used my corner chomper and made a little tag out of one of them and another tag out of those two to make it taller, and then a big tag, and I stamped on the back "To and From" so they could use that as a gift tag if they want, or just leave it. And the inside of that card was this, and I didn't want it to go to waste, so I just cut out this little mini gift tag or gift card. I put a sticker that says "I believe" on the front, and then that on the inside, and I used my corner chomper again and cut the corners of that to make a cute little card to go in here. This is the matchbook by itself. This tucks right in there, and it has a pocket on the inside, and like I said, this was some paper from my stash. I went ahead and stuck it on there, and some ribbon I had in my stash, and the back is just plain. So I'm going to show you how to make the actual matchbook, and you can put in them whatever you want. It's kind of a fun little way to give a gift, and I thought this would be neat because I'm recycling cards right along with it. So what you're going to need to make that matchbook is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. You're going to need a stapler. I just have a regular stapler. I'd love an old-fashioned red one, but I don't have that. You're going to need some sort of an adhesive, whether it be a wet adhesive like a glue, or you can use some kind of a tape adhesive, that's fine. You will need something to measure and score and something to cut, and a pair of scissors as well. So I'm going to go ahead and start by cutting it with this paper trimmer. You can also, if you have one of these, you can also use it to score, but I'm going to go ahead and use my scoreboard just because it's quick and easy. So the first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to cut your paper at 4 inches by 11 inches. So you can use a 12 by 12 sheet if you don't have an 8.5 by 11. This is just a piece of orange cardstock, only because I have a ton of orange, and I thought I would just use it. So you're going to go ahead and line it up at 4 inches and cut it. You want it to be 4 inches by 11 inches. So that's your first piece. Your second piece needs to be 4.5 inches by 4.25 inches. So I'm going to cut off a piece here. I need to put my extender out. And I'm going to measure this one at 4.25 inches and cut. And then this should already be at 4.5. It is, yes. Let me cut it at 4.5. It's just a sliver off. I don't think it really matters. So you have it 4.5 by 4. And that's the only two pieces you need for your matchbook. So we'll start with this long piece. I'm going to get my scoring board out. And you're going to make 3 score lines. You're going to put it with the 11-inch side there. Your first score is going to be at 1.5 inches. Just make a good score at 1.5 inches. Then the next one is going to be at 6.5 inches. And then at 6.75 inches. So it's at 1.5 inches, 6.5, and 6.75 inches. And then you're going to set that side. Then you're going to take your other piece, and on the 4.5 side, you're going to have it to measure out 4.5 inches here. Now remember that it is, it looks very much the same. That's your 4.25 side, and that's your 4.5 side. So on your 4.5 side, you're going to score it here at 1/2 an inch and at 4 inches. So you're essentially making 2 1/2-inch pieces there, okay? And then you're going to turn it sideways, and you're going to score it at 4 inches. So you just have 1/4 inch fold there. So you're going to have a half, and 1/4. So you're going to score it at 1/2 inch, 4 inches, turn it, score it at 4. Okay? I'll put these measurements down below. And then you're going to set that aside. So on this piece here, I think you can see my score lines. I am going to take my scissors and I am going to cut at an angle down here at that score line there. I'm going to do the same thing here. Just cut it at an angle. That will take the bulk out of the fold. I'm also going to come up here to the top, and I don't know which side you can see better, the score line. I'm going to cut a little piece there and a little piece there at each top piece. And as I fold them, you'll see why I'm doing them that way. So I'm going to fold in this little 1/4 inch piece, and then I'm going to fold in each of these 1/2 inch pieces. And this way your corners are mitered. And that way they're not overlapping each other and they are not causing extra bulk. And I like to trim down the top here too. That way you don't see the top when it's folded behind it. And then I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to fold up this 1.5 inch bottom. And I'm going to fold each one of these. Then I'm going to open this all the way. So you have this folded. This is how your matchbook is. It's got a little bit on the side so you can make it pretty thick. So I'm going to open it up to the bottom. This pocket is going to go right here, just above the bottom score line. I don't want it to touch the score line. I want it to be just above the score line. Now you can use your wet adhesive or you can use your tape. I'm going to use the tape today just because it's quicker. When I did my Rudolph one, or my reindeer one, I used wet adhesive. I used the glue. But for this example, I'm going to just use tape. So then I'm going to take this with all of my pieces folded in and just kind of line it up on the bottom. I want to try to get it even on each side and have it be maybe 1/4 inch from the fold line. Now my tape runneth over, so I could just take my finger and get rid of that. So there you go. So now to make it more of a matchbook, I'm going to go ahead and come and I'm going to put a staple on each side here at the bottom, but not as far in as that pocket. I want the clean side of the staple towards the front, and I want the staple kind of towards the bottom, not quite in the middle. So then I have my staples and my matchbook. What I did on my other one, I went ahead and rounded the corners. I used the middle size. It's the 7mm size. And with this punch, I like to turn it upside down to make sure my paper is lined up in there. It might be hard to see on camera, but you can see that corner go right into where the corner punch is. I just thought that gave it a finished look. And then you can do whatever you like as far as decorating this bottom piece. You'll want to do something to cover up those sharp staples on the back. And you can use any kind of a ribbon that you might have. So for my card that I made, or the matchbook I made, I used this ribbon and I just put it, I taped it down on the front using my double-sided tape, came around to the back and taped it over, and that way it covered up those staples. So you can see here where they met, I folded it over, I glued it down really well. I did the same thing on the top here. I wanted just something up here to kind of match that ribbon at the bottom, and then I just folded it over and finished that edge by folding it in. I used a combination of my tape runner and glue to hold it down. And there you have it. You've got your little matchbook. You can decorate it however you like. It's really easy to make. And like I said, in this case, I just used some recycled cards that I happen to have and some things that I had in my stash, like the reindeer paper. I'm going to put some of the bigger pieces in this back big pocket. I'm going to put my ribbons hanging out the edges. I'll have green ribbon hanging out each edge. This one is tall as well, so I'll put this tall one in the back there and just have that ribbon kind of come down forward a little bit. And the rest of these pieces are shorter, so they can go in this front lip of a pocket. Try to put them in so you can see a little bit of everything that's there. I love that little tag. It's so cute. I'm going to have this ribbon, I think it wants to bend that way. So let's move this guy over here so it sticks out the side. Put that ribbon, or this tag, I think I'll put him behind here. Just so that's kind of showing a little bit. I think this white piece of paper, I'm going to stick this in the back with the other paper. Try to have my ribbon sticking out the side, and I'll put this little guy here so that green ribbon is sticking out that side. So I have ribbon sticking out each side. Pull that down in the front, fold it over, and so you have all those ribbons peeking out. I think that's really cute. There. So there we go. There is the reindeer matchbook. And then the card I have to match. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it inspires you to make a matchbook. If you haven't already joined my Facebook group, Create with CraftyRia, head on over there. I'd love to see the matchbook that you create, or I'd also love to see the crafts you're making with recycled Christmas cards. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate all of you. If you have not already subscribed, please click that subscribe button below. Give this video a thumbs up and leave me a comment below. Thanks again for watching. Until later, go get crafting. Bye-bye.